Well, our kids were, a couple so they're coming back when? They're coming back in July, and we explained they are coming back 20 days early, but we explained the benefit of those kids coming back. And actually, since we have the spring data of the year before, so you've got the PALS data, you got the VKRP, you have the SOLs, so we already have the data. So coming back, already being able to structures, routines, what are those literacy stations going to look like when you're walking down the hallway, when you're going to lunch, when you're going to encore. So we were able to put all those things in place. And the other big piece with that science piece, especially we were actually in that planning today, is what is science? How are we going to actually incorporate the science into our reading and math? How are we going to read more about it? How are we going to actually just have the kids have the five senses and actually go outside and investigate, and then you're writing about it. So our hook, I feel as though our hook for the parents was all about education. When we get your kids in this door 20 more days, we can educate them 20 days earlier. And we had a few who did go to Woodville, but we had a couple who came back and said, you know what, we want our kids to be here. And it has just gone really well. We really didn't have that many kids. Again, over 95% of our parents wanted to do this. So we didn't have a lot of parents who did not want to do it. And we only had 2 staff who didn't want to do it. So and they weren't our core teachers, they were support staff. But all of our teachers wanted to do it. So for us here at Fairfield, it was a win-win because we had our teacher support, we had our parent support, we had the district support. So we just had to put our plan in place and make sure that looking at our data, making sure for those 20 days that we were intentional, we were targeted about what those kids were going to do. Now, other things we did, they went to the Black History Museum, they took science field trips. So there were other things we did just besides, okay, we're just coming to school for 20 days. Because, it's summer, so you got to make it fun. So those are things we're planning. That we have the Fit for Kids. Thank you. The Fit for Kids science. They're coming. I met with them last week. I met with Dr. Armstrong and Stephanie Ramsey. We're actually going to have baseball here during those first 20 days for 3rd through 5th grade. So that's exposure for our kids. I mean, we got Armstrong right here in the backyard. So exposing those kids to a sport that maybe they hadn't played before. That's going to be huge. So we're going to connect with the Science Museum. So again, make learning fun. And so it's the Olympics coming up. So we're thinking, okay, when we come back, 3 days later, the Olympics is going to start. So how can we actually intertwine the Olympics into all of our 4 core areas as well, and then make it fun? So I'm really proud of our staff overall of how well they have continued to keep the kids engaged with those relationships, because that is direct reflection and impact of our chronic absenteeism going down. And again, the engagement team has really done a great job of supporting us as well as our attendance team.